Welcome back to The Inspired Entrepreneur with Heather Hope. Hey everyone, it's Heather Hope again. Welcome back. Happy Sunday, I believe it is. Okay, so I'm recording this Saturday night. It is 6:30 and it's like dark out. It's so weird. Okay, so I just came back from running an errand. I had an impulse. I sat down to my computer about an hour ago to do this, and I had this impulse to go buy a lottery ticket. And I'm like, oh, I know what it feels like to have a thought that's like so random. So I just left and got a couple tickets. I For the last few months I had purchased tickets for every like Powerball and Mega Ball for the entire month. I was doing that on the first of every month. And this month I was like, I don't feel like doing it this month. And I just thought, you know what? I am going to play it old school, old school law of attraction of I am going to buy tickets only when I have the impulse to buy them. So there you go. And as soon as I said that, I looked at the recording and it said 111. I got gas today and Gizmo came with me. And I was pumping the gas and I was looking at how much it was, and I thought I was coming to like $20, and then I thought, and then it was like 21, and then I thought, oh, that'd be cool if it stopped at 22.22. And I swear to God, I should have just taken a picture, but this is all small stuff. Abraham tells us this is the small stuff. This is the stuff that we get super excited about happening, like it's magic. And they're like, this is child's play. And I love hearing that. Like all these little things that we get excited about is absolute child's play. What does that mean? It means there's tons more that we could be lining up and that we do that we don't even realize that we do. So I let go of the pump. I swear. I let it go and it was 22.22, and I just stand there and I just smile because I'm like, this is so funny. Anyway, child's play. Oh, but it's fun. It's so much fun. Okay. Okay. I have an announcement. My book is done. I just posted about it last night. Well, my time right now. So Saturday night, I posted about it. I submitted it to KDP, Amazon Kindle, Friday night, and I ordered my proof copy, and it's coming on Thursday. This sucker is huge. I'm telling you, so I, of course, I would not sell it until I proofread it or proof it, like the whole book, to see what it looks like, see what it feels like, see if I like the cover, all of that. Like, I am not going to sell something that is bad. Hopefully it's not bad. So it is 397 pages. It's 1.25 pounds. It's a, what's it, 5.5 by 8.5. So it's like a standard size book, but it's thick. So we're gonna see what it feels like. If I think it's just too big, because part of me kind of feels like I'm wasting paper. I don't want to. I mean, I don't really think I'm wasting paper, but like, because I do think there's an abundance of everything, right? But some of these messages are one line. And to put one line on a piece of paper is like, what? So if it seems ridiculous to me, and so the thing is, you can write notes in it. You can write, what you think about. There's something flying around me. You could write notes in it. You could do, you know what I mean? Like, so there's space there to use, to doodle, to do whatever you want to do with this book. It's paperback. It's going to be fun. And so, but with this proof copy coming, if it's just too big, I will have it reformatted. I'm going to send it to someone else to do, because I did everything with this book. The cover, front to back, everything of this book is mine. Nobody has touched it. So if it's not up to what I think is good or passable, or Like it could be two on one page, whatever, whatever. I'll send it to somebody to format it for me and put a lot of those pages together. So that's my heads up. So it may be a little while or it may not. If it comes in Thursday and it's perfect, it's going to be for sale Thursday night, I swear. So my other announcement is my second book is about to be published as well. So there's this really amazing thing called Inspired Action. And I cannot swear enough for it. So there's these things in our lives that there's always things in our lives like on our to-do list, like things in the back of our mind of like we want to get done, we need to get done, we should get done, you know, that list. But we have issues like no energy to do it, no like real wanting to do it. We would like to do it, or we know that we need to do it sometime, right? And sometimes we beat ourselves up of not doing it, right? So I learned like this whole year I've been doing this where I just don't do that anymore. I don't have this list too much. Like there's little things here and there that I don't make myself do it if I really don't feel like doing it, because what I know for sure is that there will come a time at some point where the energy is lined up, whether I did it or it's just the right time, it's like the most logical time, right? The next logical step without even knowing. And it's like, okay, now I'm going to do it right now. So let me tell you some examples. And I got to jump into our message for today because it's really long. And I was like surprised when I opened the Google Doc. Okay, one thing. I have a couple of different, bank accounts. And one of them, the debit card expired back in July. And I never got it in the mail. I kept expecting it in the mail because usually you get it about, the month before. And I never got it. So I was like, darn it. Okay, so I just stopped using the card and I just transferred money over to my other one. So today, I went to purchase a new Gmail account. Like I wanted a Gmail because Gmail. So anyway, that's a whole nother story. But I wanted to go with a Gmail with my new website. And it was not accepting my current debit card. It says it's a prepaid card. It's not. It's a regular checking account through Chase Bank, but it's like classified as some other kind of thing. I never usually have a problem with it until Google. And so I'm like, okay, it's not allowing me. In the past, anytime anything would come up with this card, I would just use the other one. Not a big deal. Money flows back and forth between the accounts. So today I was like, I can't use my debit card. It's the only thing I have. That was the time when I was like, okay, I got to get a debit card for my other account. It was the time because I need to get this Google thing set up and I need a card that works and it's not working. So I was like getting ready I was going to go to the bank to, so I went on the app for a minute to see if I could do it on the app. I didn't, because what I think I found out was, my old address is the mailing address or on my statement for that card. So I'm under the impression, which it was, that the replacement card back in July got sent to my old address. That when I lived there were so many times I didn't even get my mail. So I never got the card. So I checked my statements. No, my address is where I live. So that's weird. So when I checked to request a card on the app, I hear coyotes. You're not going to hear it because my microphone, you can't hear anything behind it. There's a whole pack of coyotes outside somewhere. That's why my dog's barking. Gosh. The desert. So anyway, long story short, I saw when I was trying to request a new card that the mailing address was my old address. So I'm like, okay, I can't do that. So I was getting ready to go to the bank today. I'm like, today's the day. I'm going to do it because I need my card. And so it was one of those things where I never wanted to look into it. I was just like getting by with just having one debit card, all of that, because I don't really like doing 100 things in a day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like all these little stupid things that you have to go do, like responsible adult things. I don't like that stuff half the time. So, or all the time. So I'm like, okay, I got to go to the bank. So I was getting ready to go to the bank. While I was getting ready, because they closed in like 45 minutes, I had a thought, you know what? Maybe you can just call the 1-800 or call the 1-800 number. So I did. And I got this amazing woman on the phone, and she like fixed all my problems, I swear. Um, she thought it was kind of like all the problems I had. Like, it even had my married name still on the account, but my debit card has my legal name, and nothing matches. Anyway, so she fixed it, fixed my address, sent me out a new card. The other things I have to go into the bank for. But it finally got resolved like months later. And it was only because I needed it. And in that moment, it was like, okay, I can do this right now. That's not a big deal because I want to, I need to pay for this thing. It would probably be pretty smart to fix this right now. And I did it. And it was the easiest thing in the world. So I really am a huge proponent of don't make yourself do things you don't want to do. I hear that very loud and clear from Abraham of like, don't do it. If it's easy, then good. If it's, only do things when it's easy, because it's just so easy and it makes things fun. The woman literally, because I was just making jokes. I swear in my next life or my next career, this is going to be my job. I'm going to be a comedy writer. You guys may not hear it, but in my life over here, I am funny. I was telling my husband, because I joke that he doesn't have a sense of humor, but I said I'm going to be a comedy writer in my next career at some point. So I don't know how. It's probably pretty hard or something, but so I was talking to this woman because I love having fun and I love cracking jokes with people when I'm talking to them. And so I was on the phone with the Chase representative, and I was like sitting there and I'm like, yeah, normally I don't care about my name because you guys probably know that I've got like 15 different names. And like, I don't care. I just go by whatever the name pops up. That's probably my name. And, and so, but I said, but, I'm sitting here thinking, normally I don't care, but this is a bank. So like, I would think should be accurate. And she's just laughing because she's like, you're right. I'm like, yeah. And it doesn't sound funny now, but it was on the phone. But, how banks should be pretty accurate, and like nothing was accurate. But I said, it's not like the grocery store where nothing really matters what name or address they have, but a bank, they should be accurate. So anyway, none of this is really funny right now. So anyway, so that little thing got resolved, and there's a million of those all the time for me anyway, of like, I dread doing it. It sounds like the worst possible thing ever. And I was super thankful that I didn't have to leave the house. The introvert in me is like, God, I'm so glad I didn't have to go to the bank. They're fine. Like, they're amazing people at my bank over here. They're really, really nice people. But it's just nice to not leave the house sometimes. Okay. So my second book's coming out too. I was hoping to get it uploaded tonight. I don't know if that's going to happen. But the second book, I'm excited about everything. And I've got notes written down for more books. Like, I feel like all of this is happening of just writing. That's all I want to do. I literally don't write. Like, I'm not like a writer, but I feel like there's going to be a time when I sit down through inspiration and I'm just going to write a whole book in one night. You know what I mean? Like, or over a course of a little while. So the second book is a 3-month journal. Oh, that's what I forgot. Forgot to put that on the whole thing, that it's 3 months. It's 30 days to manifest your success journal. So there's 30-day chunks. And I got this from my practice. This is like not proprietary stuff. This is not, this isn't groundbreaking material that I created. None of this I created. This is all the same stuff that everybody else teaches, but I've had success with this. Now, I've had success in under 30 days. I've done it in 7 days. I've done it so much sooner than 30 days. But I'm doing 30 days because I think it's a nice round number for those who this isn't their entire life. Like law of attraction is my entire life. So so I created this journal. This is literally the practice that I do every morning, except I didn't do it today because I don't know why. I should have done it. But so it's a 3-month journal, and you get a page a day of the 3 things that I do. And it's a journal. So, okay, so the 3 things I do, because it's not a secret, I just don't talk about it. It's on my page. It's the Facebook Live that's on the top of my Heather Hope business page you should check that out. I recorded that back when I was in California, and the 3 things I did, I think I read through my journal at that time that I manifested, like the ocean view house. So it's meditation, visualization, and writing your vision. Those are the 3 things. So what this 3-month journal does, it's like it's a paperback, 8.5 by 11, 100 pages. And it gives you 3 30-day chunks. And each 30 days you focus on one thing. Like, what is the most important thing for you to focus on for the next 30 days? Like, what is it that you really want to really manifest? And so I did this for the oceanfront house, not oceanfront, it was ocean view, 3 houses from the ocean. It felt like front, but anyway, I did it in 7 days without any expectation at all that it was happening in 7 days. But I'm really excited about this. I like this workbook a lot. It's like a workbook / journal. I call it a journal, but I really think it's fun because it gives you that outline. It gives you that accountability. I had thought about creating like a really, like a subscription membership program with it, of like where you get a couple, like group coaching calls or some kind of calls in the month. I haven't thought too much about it recently, but I did when I thought of the journal. So we'll see. And it would start in January. So just to have that accountability, that little bit of coaching, that little bit of guidance for me of like, because one of the biggest things is staying with it. I have my own issues with sticking with a routine every day. I don't really like routines, but so I make this pretty simple. Anyway, so I'm creating this journal for you to manifest what you want. 30-day chunks. So you go through 3 months worth, and then you can get another journal. And I'm creating different covers for it, so you can have a different cover, some really, really pretty scenes on them and stuff. So anyway, 18 minutes in, we're not even close to being to the message. Let me get to it. It's just pretty exciting. I really love this. If you want to publish a book, let me know. It is so fun. I just realized that I didn't use the same author profile on Amazon. What do I have? 7 books on Amazon. It's under Heather Hope, but it's Heather Hope like MA. I had my credentials on my name, but I have 7 books still on Amazon. I published them all. I went through a thing like that back in 2015. I published 7 books. 4 of them are about depression, and 3 of them are on losing weight. I had an 8th one, but I took it down because I didn't really believe in it, but in the diet that I was doing. But so now I use a different profile. So, and I'm going to do a bonus episode. I might do it tonight. A bonus episode of how I cured my 20-year suicidal depression. I don't get too involved in the details very often because I don't like reactivating. Like Abraham says, whatever you focus on activates a vibration within you. So I don't like to focus on it too much at all, really. But I think I'll do it like once. And then when anybody asks me about it, kind of like how I manifested my husband, there's a podcast episode about that. You know what I mean? So I can record it once and kind of be done with it. So I might do that tonight. Okay, let's jump in. Goodness gracious. I have this big drink of my diet Dr. Pepper. That's probably why I'm so full of energy. Okay, so this one's long. I'm going to read through it. So November 15th. If you focus on feeling good before anything else, you will naturally be on the right path to your desires. Literally how I feel the last few days. Just focusing on feeling good. And I can't tell you how productive I've been this week. Insanely productive. Every day is like a marathon of inspiration and getting things done. Like I'm becoming addicted to getting things done. It's like the most incredible feeling because I see myself moving closer to things, like more and more things that I want. Okay. People ask me, how do I scale my business? First and foremost, make feeling good your highest priority. Each time I find myself feeling kind of, I instantly remind myself to think a different thought, one that will make me feel good. I'll ask myself, what can I do right now to feel good? Or what can I do to have fun in this moment? Rings true. Totally rings true. I think this every day. When I do that, I change my vibration to what I do want, and then the inspiration flows. Your inner guidance knows how to get you to where you want to be. Scaling your business or the love of your life or more money. It's your job to line up with that. I can't read. That's good. It's your job to line up with that by feeling good. That was it. That was it. Okay. So I actually wrote a little thing today. Being happy is the key. Being happy is the key. Being happy. So I've had to stop myself the last couple of days as I'm working towards more things, like more goals. Abraham calls them intentions. Like when you have set intentions and you move towards them, it's the greatest satisfaction. Totally true. But the last few days this week, and I did it tonight when I went to get my lottery tickets, I came home and I made myself go back outside because it was so nice out and really look at my life for a minute. I have had to remind myself because, like you live your life, you're living your day to day and you kind of take things for granted. And I think taking things like that might be a strong statement, but like what Abraham says, it's old news. Like everything that's manifested is old news, and it feels that way. Everything feels like old news. Say you've been living in your house for a while. It's old news. After a while, it's old news. Now, if you move into like a new house and it's really new to you and, the excitement's there for a while. But I've been living here, like in January, I will have had this house, like possession of this house for 7 years. I just put lotion on it. Now my nose is bothering me. It's a really strong scent that I normally really like, but right now it's bothering me. So I'm not crying. Don't worry. So I've had this house. Like I moved away for a year at one point, went back to Phoenix for a year. And then I moved to California for 3 months earlier this year. So that was it out of 7 years. But after a bunch of years, you get very, like, it's old news. It's like, yeah, I live here. So what? So sometimes with certain things, like I have an amazing husband. Yes, that's kind of, it seems kind of rare. Depends on who your circle is, I guess, or I kind of think it's still rare to have somebody really good. That sounds bad. If you're looking for someone, they're out there. It's just sometimes you're around people that are not so great and you're just like, I don't know. But or you hear other people talk about their spouses or whatever. So, but I have to sit back for a minute and take in what I already have. That's really wonderful. And I have done that the last couple days with this house in particular because like so now we decided where we want to live next, right? I've talked about it, PV, Paradise Valley down in next to Phoenix. Um and that's like where my focus is. That's what I'm meditating on every day. That's what I'm visualizing every day. That's what I'm writing about. That's my 30-day thing right now is living in Paradise Valley. And, starting this new business that I want to be primarily in that area, Paradise Valley, Scottsdale. And so that's where my focus is all the time. So while I'm focusing there, I'm still over here. And sometimes I just kind of forget how wonderful here is. And like I've said before, when the apartment that I lived in, and I said this the other day about like standards and stuff, that I always live in nice places. That's just, other than like my very first apartment was pretty crappy. Even though I bought brand new furniture and it looked really great, it was still a crappy apartment. And I had a view of the lake and stuff, so that was pretty cool. And but I've always had really nice places and nice areas. Now, the apartment that I did move to in Phoenix a couple years ago was not very great, and it was bordering in neighborhood. It's only a couple miles away from my childhood home, but neighboring, it was an okay neighborhood still, but yeah, I mean, overall in the grand scheme of Phoenix, it's a good area, but it's not, 2 miles down the road, it's Scottsdale, and it really cleans up even a lot more. So it's one of those transitional areas, or going downhill areas, really. But I didn't have much of a choice at that time. It felt like it was just kind of an easy way to go. I moved there only because my grandmother needed to be near a hospital, and this one was exactly 1 mile from the hospital. So, and it was the same place that, it was just where I needed to be at that time. So anyway, but I didn't like it for many, many months. There were so many problems with it. And then I learned about Abraham. And I learned to create positive lists of positive aspects about my apartment. I had to list them, and I had to focus on them because I was just digging into Abraham at that time and wanting so badly somewhere better. Now, of course, there was aspects that got better. I mean, I love my furniture. I love my belongings. Everything's nicely set up and decorated. Like, I loved it. I loved, my decor. But there was a list of things that I really didn't like. So anyway, so I focused on the list of positive aspects about that place. And by the time I needed to move, I didn't want to move because I loved it so much. I fell in love with my apartment. And all the problems went away. Like literally, assistant manager from like a witch from hell. I swear to God, swear. She was an awful person. She was like so sexist. She hated women. So I swear, I found out from my neighbors that they would send all their husbands and boyfriends in to pay the rent. And I did the same thing. I sent my boyfriend in at the time, my husband, to pay the rent or whatever it was, or to pick up my packages or something, because she was just nasty and she was just nicer to men. She was awful, bad person. So anyway, she left. I think she got fired, but she left. And at the same time, my neighbors upstairs left. They like instantly moved away. They were awful, awful neighbors upstairs, like awful. It was awful. I'm telling you, there was a list of awful things that were annoying. So anyway, I focused on the positives. I was really trying to block out anything that was negative. I just kept focusing on what I loved, what I appreciated, just in life and that apartment. And I swear to God, everything on that list that were seemed impossible to just go away and stop, all of it left. All of it. The neighbors moved, and they moved in way after I did. So there's no way they should have left. You know what I mean? Like, they left. I didn't even know they left. One day my AC was being fixed, and the maintenance guys were like the only good things there. And so I had mentioned something, and he's like, "Oh, they moved away last week." I'm like, "They did?" Like, how the hell did I not know this? Because they were the noisiest people on earth. Um, and I was just in shock. And then, like, his next sentence was, "And our assistant manager, today was her last day." And I'm like, I look at Roger. I'm like, what the hell? It was just, and I had bugs there too, which I don't like living with those things. Like, that's why I pay a lot of money in rent, because typically there's no bugs. That's just the way it always was for me. They went away too. Like, I'm not even kidding. Everything improved. Everything improved. So by the time I was supposed to leave, like, lease over, you got to go, Heather. I didn't want to go because it was perfect. Everything I wanted was right there. It was such a lesson. It was such a lesson in focus on the positive aspects of the things that you have, and all the rest of the shit will go away. It just goes away. If you don't focus on it, it will go away. This is how the universe works. It will go away. Whatever it is, you don't focus on it. Like, you put your focus on something else. You have to focus on something else all the time. All the things that you love, life, people, your dog, cat, whatever, everything. Take your focus off of the things you don't want anymore, and they will go away. People will go away. God, people are one of the easiest things. If you can not think about people, a certain person, that person's going to go away. They do. They go away. I'm really good at that too. Okay. I'm like out of breath, and we're 32 minutes. So let's go through this real quick. I don't want to keep you for too long. I actually got a few messages today. I appreciate you guys messaging me. One was actually saying she loved that it was only 20 minutes. Like, here I am talking. Maybe the next one will be like 10 minutes and we'll just even it out. But so the point on this one is focus on feeling good before anything else. Feeling good. When you're feeling good, nothing matters. So, like, I can tell when I'm really in the vortex and when I'm not. And I'll give you one quick example and then we'll go. My garage I used to have like a clean garage with not a whole lot in there. And then over the few years, people's crap got in there. Not really my crap, but other people's crap. And so it's just kind of, now we've got spider webs and it's just kind of gross. And I can't see myself cleaning it out because that's not something I would want to do. So there's days when I drive into the garage and I'm like, oh God, I try not to do that with anything because I know how that doesn't help. But the last couple of days, I was feeling really, really good. And I'm just walking through the garage like nothing is bothering me. That's when I know I'm really in the vortex. When I can walk through crap that normally, and I swear probably most people would look at the garage and say, you're complaining about this? You should see my garage. You can't get a car in. So it's all about perspective. But so when I can walk through something like a room or, things my dog has done when he can't make it run to the bathroom in time, and not be bothered by it, like literally not bothered at all, I know I'm in the vortex. When I walk through a room and I'm freaking bothered by everything, I am not in the vortex. So that is one way that I can tell. I'm like, yeah, I'm not in the vortex. I need to go meditate or do something because I'm just going to attract more of this, more things that I don't like. Okay, so if you wanted to read through the thing, through today's message, it is in the description. If you're listening to this on YouTube, it's in the description. Oh, it's in the description wherever you are. So I'll let you know how the book comes out. I'm receiving it Thursday, so shortly after that, you'll find out whether I'm approving it or not. So, okay, guys, I'm going to let you go, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye.